We have to learn how to integrate the two, work and life. It's our business. It's our money on the line. It's our reputation on the line. We're going to work the hardest no matter what. Top talent doesn't leave companies. They leave bad cultures. Boundaries build trust. They build trust and productivity. Healthy work-life norms decrease burnout. Save your businesses, save your organizations, sustain your cultures. Have you ever told your team to unplug, take care of themselves, enjoy their evenings while you are still firing off emails at 11 p.m.? Here's the truth. Your team won't do what you say. They'll do what you model. And if you're always on, they'll believe that they have to be too. That's how good employees burn out. That's how great talent quietly walks out the door. As leaders, we just can't afford that. Not just because turnover is expensive, but because culture starts at the top. If you want a team that protects their energy, does their best work, and actually sticks around, it begins with you protecting yours. On today's episode, we're talking about why the best leaders protect work-life boundaries and how doing so can help you retain that top talent and build a healthier, more productive culture. I'm going to share 3 practical ways you can model the balance your people desperately need, because leadership isn't just about direction, it's about example. So let's get into the first practical way that you are going to be able to model this work-life boundary. And we call it work-life boundary for a reason. I used to use the word balance, and it was really it was untrue. There is no such thing as work-life balance. You're either stressed at work, you're stressed at home, maybe you got things to do at work that bleed over into your home environment or vice versa. So I like to use the word integration. And integration means that, you might have an imbalance at work. It may be a hectic time. There's deadlines, there's work to be done, or vice versa. You may have a hectic home life. Maybe the house needs repair, or something is going on in your home life. Somebody's graduating. There's a birth in the family. Maybe it's just your relationship's a little on rocky ground. Either way, we have to learn how to integrate the two, work and life. So these strategies are going to enable you to model the way, not just in our businesses, not just with our teams, but also in our personal lives. So that way we can integrate both our lives and our work together. So this one, when I was journaling this morning, again, get out your journals. This is an active listening podcast. I want you all, the whole premise, the whole reason behind me giving you practical applications with each one of these strategies is for you to go implement. That's my challenge to you. My other challenge to you is, if you're not subscribed to this channel, it would be a huge favor to click on that subscribe button. All of this content is free of charge. It allows us to continue to deliver the best content for the best value, which is free. Pretty good. So boundaries start at the top, and the team is going to mirror your habits. And I wrote down here, I used to be of the mindset that when I carried around my phone, and I have 2 phones, a work phone and a personal phone, because I thought that that was work-life integration. I said, well, if I have my personal phone with me and I don't have my work phone with me, that means I do personal stuff and I'm not doing my work stuff. That didn't work, because guess what happened? I downloaded the apps that were on my business phone onto my personal phone, and I was doing work and personal. It just didn't mix. So for me, what that did was it told my team, without really telling them, that it's okay to go ahead when you're off work, answer your emails, especially my emails that I send, because I'm the most important piece, right? I'm the boss. I'm the leader of the organization. It's my business, that sort of thing. So you definitely better answer my emails. Or even worse yet, if you have a customer reaching out to you, you better get back to them. I quickly found that the things that I did, even though I said disconnect, step away, when you're off work, you're truly off work, I wasn't modeling those. They weren't modeling them either. They saw me working after hours, so guess what? They felt like they had to work after hours. It wasn't that they wanted to get ahead, as if John's doing it, I need to be doing it. But remember here, and the other thing that I want to talk about, the expectation of business owners especially, that our employees need to work as hard as we do, that's wrong. It's our business. It's our money on the line. It's our reputation on the line. We're going to work the hardest no matter what. So if you understand that as a business owner especially, then the rest of the conversation we're going to have is going to go well. But first, we have to get over the fact that people are going to work as hard as we do when it's our business. We're the hardest workers. I'm always the hardest worker in any one of my businesses. I'm going to go, but I also have to understand that I got to model that work-life boundary in order for others to prevent burnout. So here, what are some applications? What can you do as a leader? What have I seen? What have I done? What do I coach on? Use delay send features. Now, this is a cheat code because I just told you not to work after hours and model the way, but what I didn't say was there are ways that we can generate emails, because my mind is always running and I have certain peaks, energy peaks throughout the day. In the afternoon, I get a second wind almost, and especially late evening, that's when I normally work out. People think I'm crazy, but I tend to work out in the evenings. Why? Because that's my second energy peak. I normally have transitioned into my work life or from my work life into my home life and got home, figured out dinner, figured out what we were going to do, run people to practices, do all my business stuff for my other businesses. And then guess what? My mind's racing. So I'm thinking and I go ahead and draft an email, but then I delay the send until the morning and the employees don't know any different. What that does though is you're not firing off emails during the middle of the night and now they feel like they have to do the same. So the delay send button, pretty powerful cheat code trick. The other thing is I like to publicly announce that I'm shutting down for the day, whatever time that's going to be. Hey everyone, I'm leaving. Have a good night. I'm leaving my computer here. I'm going to have a great evening with the family, or, I'm going out with the wife for dinner, a nice dinner, and I'm just going to get some R&R and I'll see you guys tomorrow because it's going to be a busy day. Publicly announce it, like say it, and then hold yourself accountable to that. But it allows them to say, you know what? John's going out and having a great dinner with his spouse. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to relax. When I get home, I'm going to disconnect. So those two applications, the delayed email sending, cheat code, and publicize the fact that you're disconnecting. You're leaving work, leaving your laptop there, whatever that disconnection looks like for your environment, announce it. So one thing that I wanted to share, and I worked with an owner who was having this disconnection problem, like they were sending emails. They constantly felt like they had to work, constantly felt like they needed to hustle, and they probably did because it was a startup business. I get it. You got to get things off the ground, sprints. You got to get to where you're going and you got to get there fast, right? Okay. But what happened was people were leaving. Like he hired some really, really good people and they began to leave. So he, with the help and the guidance of our programs, realized that he needed to disconnect, and he began to do that. And what happened? Employee engagement went up because people felt safe to unplug because they saw him unplugging. Try it. It works. They will model what you do. They won't do what you say. So that's the first strategy. The second one we're going to talk about, boundaries drive retention. I don't know how many times that I've walked into businesses of my own, when I was an early business owner, an early leader, and I was going 100 miles an hour, and people just said, John, you're too much. I can't keep up. And they left. They walked out the door. They gave me 2 weeks. They let me know they were leaving, but the sentiment was, the overall consensus was, John, you're just too much. So when I'm talking about boundaries are going to drive your retention in your organizations, top talent doesn't leave companies. They leave bad cultures. One top reason that they leave is because of poor leadership. The second one, the culture's bad. They don't see themselves growing in that culture. And so for you to work 24 hours a day, you're not helping your business. You're hurting your business. So what do you got to do? Try it on. I want to take a quick break from the episode today to talk about a couple things. The first thing, less than 40% of our listeners are subscribed to our channel. You would be doing me a huge favor if you click on that subscribe button. It helps us grow our Go Be Great community and get this podcast out to as many people as we possibly can. The second thing, are you a small business owner that is drowning in the day-to-day operations? You're delegating tasks and you're still doing all the work. You're experiencing a high turnover. Maybe you don't have the systems and processes in place that you need to run a successful business. I invite you to go over to thejohnespinosa.com, fill out the form to see if you're the right fit. Now back to the episode. You got to protect time off. You got to protect especially your employee time off. Don't call them up when they're off. Don't do it. Even if it's not like a vacation, they may have a staycation. They may be sitting around the house, or it may just be the end of the day. It can wait till tomorrow. There is nothing, if you're running a successful organization, a good business, you have a good culture established, there's nothing that needs to be done right now that cannot wait till tomorrow. Certain things this was the hardest thing that I had to learn. Not everything's going to get done. I am not going to check off everything that I've written down that I need to do for the day. Wake up call. Huge wake up call for me. I had to get used to the fact that I go hard, do my best for however long I'm at work. I get done as much as I can. That's why prioritizing, we have an episode on prioritizing at the end of every day. Top 3 things that I want to accomplish the next day. Those 3 things, we'll talk a little bit about the time piece to it. That's what I focus on. After that, the rest is just icing on the cake, okay? So for here, protect time off, don't call after hours, and then we got to build up like this unplugged time as a badge of honor. When I use the word unplugged in my organizations and on my teams and within the businesses, people see that as John's getting some rest and relaxation, but guess what? When he comes back, he's going to be energized. We're going. They know that. Like when day one after I get back from a vacation or I get back from a weekend especially, Mondays are my best days, are the best days for the team. We don't have Monday blues. Nobody's crying about it being Monday in the organizations. Why? Because I'm rested and I bring energy on Mondays, especially because Monday is the best day of the week. It starts the week off, and we are going to start the week off. We're going to start it on the best foot. We're going to get going. But I also sensationalize the unplugged time. Get that unplugged time because we're going to work. You see the boundary here that we're creating? It's not like, hey, when we're at work, we're just going to go at a nice, easy pace. You can still sprint. You can still have goals. You can still get there. That's not what we're talking about. What I'm saying is when you're unplugged, you're unplugged. But when it's go time, it is go time. We work hard to play hard. And that play hard time, you're unplugged, you're away from the business. That's the boundary that we want to set up. And that is going to drive retention. So here, got 2 leaders for you. One leader, leader 1, he's always on. She's always on. They're going 100 miles an hour. Leader 2, they value a sustainable pace. Who do you want to work for? For me, I found people want to work for leader 2. The organizations that I normally consult with, people want to work for leader 2. So how can we be a leader 2? How can we be that leader that honors and promotes a sustainable pace? Doesn't mean you're going at a slow pace. It's a sustainable pace. So that boundaries drive retention, important part of the strategy when we're talking about modeling the way. And then the last one here, boundaries build trust. They build trust and productivity. Healthy work-life norms decrease burnout. That's a fact. We can't argue that. If people feel like they got a good work life, they got a good home life, life is good, we're holistically good in both of those lives. We integrated both of them. That doesn't mean that like balanced, because it could be a heavy work week. It could be a heavy life week, right? But we've integrated the two into a way where we've created this balance, and now we're productive. Now trust in the organization, trust in the leadership, trust in you as the boss, that you're going to protect their time off, and you're going to see the benefit of this through creative problem solving. You're going to see it through people being engaged in the environment, in your work environment. You're going to see people smiling, like nonverbals. You're going to hear people tell you that this is the best job they've ever had. That's right. This is the best job they've ever had. That should give you goosebumps. When you start noticing those signs, that's when you know that this is working. That's when you know that you are setting up and modeling good work-life boundaries. So what are some applications here, John? Set focus hours. I like to block out those no meeting times, those no meeting blocks within my calendar. Those are my focus hours. Those are the times that I get things done. When does that normally occur for me? In the mornings. So for me, I love the morning hours. I always program the busiest things or the hardest tasks in the morning, because then after that, it's all downhill. It's like Monday. I try to get everything programmed into a Monday to where I'm like, heck yeah, I got Monday kicked. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If you work on Saturday, Sundays, all downhill from here. So for me, I program that in the morning. And then I got my night again spike in energy to where I do a lot of my business stuff. I record my podcasts. I'm coming to you at night because that's when I begin to think. Like I decompress throughout the day. I journal in the morning and then I come back and I start writing specific examples or things that I want to, really give you all as an audience. So again, for here, set focus hours and then celebrate recovery and rest. Celebrate it. Celebrate it just like the wins that you're going to have, the milestones you're going to meet, those $1 million clients that you're bringing in, the revenue increases that you're going to have. Celebrate rest and recovery equally. Because when you do that, what you're doing is you're integrating, you are modeling integration through celebration. Remember, you're setting the culture. Culture is about what we celebrate and what we tolerate. And if we're only celebrating our work wins, guess what? That's what people are going to strive for because they want appreciation. They want you to recognize them. Why? Because they trust you and they respect you. So if you are not celebrating the rest and recovery periods as equally as you celebrate the wins in your businesses, you're going to start to see that separation from the integration that you've created. And then our lead framework, one of the whole reasons why the integration works is because we're aligned. Our expectations are aligned around a sustainable performance environment. Back to when we work hard, when it's go time, when we got a deliverable to meet and get out, we're going. But when we need to rest and recover and we have those lulls in our businesses, we're also celebrating those as rest and recovery periods. As downtime, it always gets that bad connotation, that negative, well, if it's downtime, that means you're not busy. That means you're not making money. You can only work about 80% max out for so long before you start to burn out. And I've seen it. I've experienced it firsthand. So I always schedule to about 80% because the extra 20%, something's going to come up. And if you're maxed out at 100%, your time, your day, you don't have any buffers between meetings, where's the extra going to go? Because the extra is coming. It will come. As business owners, we see it. As entrepreneurs, things change. We got to be able to pivot, and you are not going to be able to pivot. You're not going to be able to create that new strategy that you may need if you cram everything together and you're 100% maxed out. So again, I think through these things, small teams, small businesses that shift their mindset to these first-time morning sessions where they get things done in the mornings, no block meetings, when they begin to align their expectations around what performance looks like, sustainable performance, that's when you're going to realize the power of modeling work-life integration. So I want to leave you this. Again, I challenge you, implement one of these applications. Implement them now. Save your businesses, save your organizations, sustain your cultures. You've worked very, very hard to build them, to build that influence, to build that trust. This is a prime example of how now you just grow. You just get stronger. You just start churning things out. In the team, they're going to appreciate you for it. So if you're tired of losing good people, it's time to protect the balance. Start today. I believe in you. Go be great. Talk to everyone later. Bye. If you like what you're hearing, do us a favor. Click on that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up or leave a comment. That lets us know that what we are putting out benefits you. If you want additional information or resources or learn how to work with me, head on over to thejohnespinosa.com, because when we become better versions of ourselves, it helps us get others to where they're going. Go be great. Talk to everyone later.